Hey there, and welcome to this quick walkthrough today. I want to show you exactly how I take one long video and transform it into a stack of ready-to-post clips using Vizard. Think of this as a casual look under the hood, not a hard sales pitch. Ultimately, my goal is just to show you how this process saves real time and makes your content much more shareable across platforms. I recently had this 20-minute product walkthrough that I knew had value for TikTok, Instagram Reels, and LinkedIn. But honestly, the thought of chopping it up, finding the best segments, adding captions, and scheduling everything was completely daunting. You've likely seen other tools pop up like Cluso or Canva, and they look slick while handling parts of the job. However, most of them focus too much on fancy presentation layers, or they get expensive, or they just don't handle the entire pipeline from raw video to actual scheduled posts. That's precisely where Vizard steps in for me, because it truly feels like it was built for creators who just want to ship content without babysitting every single step. Opening the dashboard felt familiar with the standard left side navigation and a big canvas area up front. But what convinced me to stay was how incredibly fast I could move from a raw file to genuinely social-ready clips. Once I uploaded my long video, Vizard immediately started analyzing the entire thing. It goes beyond simple cutting by actively detecting the parts that have the highest engagement potential for you. This includes finding strong hooks, key punchlines, important question and answer segments, or just those emotionally high-energy moments. This analysis is the real difference between a basic trimming tool and a tool that genuinely thinks about performance. One of the very first features I absolutely loved is the auto-editing viral clips function. I no longer have to guess which 30 seconds are going to perform the best, because Vizard suggests a whole set of clips it predicts will be successful. It bases these suggestions on the video's pacing, the emphasis used, and exactly where the energy spikes occur throughout the original file. You can easily preview all those suggestions right there in a list format. Then you can scrub right to each clip and either accept the cut as is or make small tweaks to the start and end points. For anyone making content consistently, that capability is truly huge because I get half a dozen options in minutes instead of spending an hour on one clip. Moving on, another area that immediately stood out to me was the captioning and formatting options. I always hate it when captions are slightly off by a beat or when they look like a total afterthought to the main video. Vizard's captions are consistently solid, and you can style them really quickly to match any platform's requirements. Adjusting font choices and timing is simple, which saves so much frustration. The system even auto-applies these refined captions to every single generated clip automatically. This means you can export them perfectly formatted for TikTok or post them straight to LinkedIn without any extra caption labor on your part. But truly, the real game changer for me was the combination of the auto-schedule and the content calendar features. Once all your clips are generated, you completely bypass the need to download each one and manually upload it to every social network. You simply set your desired posting frequency, tell Vizard which platforms you want to hit, and it queues everything up to post according to your schedule. The content calendar then gives you a bird's-eye view of the entire pipeline, showing pending clips and attached captions. Plus, it has a simple drag-and-drop interface if you ever need to easily reorder your upcoming posts. I rearranged a few items, quickly adjusted some final captions, and then I just hit publish, letting Vizard handle all the rest. While tools like Canva excel at designing beautiful assets and others might be cool for transcriptions, they usually stop right before automating that crucial distribution part. Vizard is what truly unifies the generation and the scheduling into one single cohesive flow, which is why it's become my absolute go-to system. Let me quickly walk you through an actual session I ran just yesterday to show you the speed. I uploaded that same 20-minute interview session I had with the founder. Within moments, Vizard analyzed everything and surfaced 18 distinct clip suggestions for me to look at. It specifically highlighted a powerful 45-second chunk where the founder dropped a truly surprising statistic. It also found several other sharp 20 to 30-second moments that had excellent punchy hooks. I quickly previewed the suggested clips and maybe trimmed one or two start points to make the hook hit just a little bit faster. Then, I simply toggled on my standard captions and my required branding elements for each selection. I assigned the long, 45-second stack clip to go out on YouTube Shorts and LinkedIn first. Meanwhile, those shorter 20-second hook clips were designated for the faster-paced environment of TikTok and Instagram Reels. After that setup, I just told the auto-scheduler to release one clip every 2 days for the entire upcoming month. That was the entire process. There was absolutely no extra exporting step required and zero manual uploads to the actual social platforms. There are two major use cases where I see Vizard really shining brightly, and I think these will resonate with most creators and content teams out there. The first is for creators who produce any kind of long-form content, like podcasts, webinars, or in-depth interviews. They are looking for a steady, reliable stream of short-form clips without the constant manual effort. Instead of forcing yourself to guess what is even worth sharing, Vizard intelligently finds those moments that already carry momentum. The second major group is product and marketing personnel who absolutely need to maintain a social presence without the budget for a full-time production team. Imagine taking internal demo videos or feature explainers and turning them into native-looking product teasers for social, all with the captions and scheduling handled automatically. Now, I do want to be totally fair and discuss the trade-offs, because no single tool on the market is absolutely perfect. When compared to a fully staffed video editor or a dedicated creative agency, Vizard won't replace highly bespoke creative direction or cinematic color grading. If your project involves high-budget commercials with multi-camera setups and motion graphics handled by specialists, you will still want to hire those pros. Furthermore, even though Vizard is smart about clip selection, there is always room left for specific human taste and nuance. Sometimes the auto cut lands just a beat too early before the main punchline, or it might pick a moment that needs just that tiny editorial nudge. But that specific gripe is actually quite small, because the interface makes applying those quick edits completely painless. Another important comparison point is the relationship between the price you pay versus the actual value you receive. Some competing services charge you a premium for marginal features or lock core functionality behind much higher pricing tiers. Other tools focus narrowly, perhaps only on templates or maybe just text-to-video generation. Vizard's core value proposition is fundamentally different. It's about automating that entire repetitive pipeline so you can dedicate your energy to actual content strategy. For the majority of working creators, that time savings alone is more than worth the cost of the subscription. On a related note, I was genuinely impressed with how smoothly Vizard handled the branding application process. You can actually save multiple brand presets, like your logo overlays, color themes, and even intro or outro stingers. These presets can then be applied across a whole batch of clips simultaneously with just a few clicks. This ensures that if you are publishing a whole series of videos, every single clip maintains a unified and recognizable look without re-exporting everything individually. That consistent branding is a subtle factor, but it really helps build vital recognition when you are posting content frequently. One specific feature I didn't initially plan to use much but quickly came to rely on is the context-aware trimming. If the original footage has a long pause or a filler word right before a strong statement, Vizard smartly suggests trimming those out to make the clip hit faster. It genuinely feels like having a meticulous editor on your team who instinctively understands the pacing norms required for short-form social platforms. I also want to call out the analytics dashboard because that feedback loop is incredibly valuable. After about a week of letting the system post my clips, the analytics deck clearly showed me which ones were actually resonating with my audience. The tool specifically highlighted high watch-through rates and pointed out which content types perform best on which platforms. That concrete feedback made it super easy to refine my future clip selection strategy, telling me to do more of the punchy stats and fewer of the long-winded explanations. So, to sum up my thoughts, if you are currently making long-form content and you want to scale your short-form presence without burning hours, Vizard is an absolute must-try tool. It isn't trying to become every single design or editing app out there. Instead, it laser focuses on automating the entire pipeline. Pick the best moments, polish them quickly, brand them, and then schedule and post them out. For any creator trying to keep shipping high volumes, or for marketing teams needing consistency without complexity, that level of automation is incredibly significant. If you've ever felt burned by tools that looked great but always stopped short of finishing the entire job for you, Vizard is definitely worth a serious look. It's certainly not a silver bullet solution for achieving ultra-high-end, cinematic production quality, but for the consistent task of turning long content into perfectly polished, branded, and distributed social clips, it offers one of the smoothest experiences I have ever used. Alright, that covers my quick, honest walkthrough of how I'm using this system. I am genuinely smiling even while writing this script, because it's exactly the type of tool that makes content work feel dramatically less like a grind. I plan on feeding more of my long-form content into Vizard to test out different posting cadences, and I will definitely report back on what ultimately sticks the best. If you are a content creator looking to save substantial time while achieving better overall results on social media, you should absolutely give this a try. You might be genuinely surprised by just how many ready-to-use clips it can surface from one single long session you already recorded. That is everything for this quick overview today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video.